Food for thought. Are you preparing yourself for success, for the future? Yes? No? Maybe? Kinda? That answer is for you to know and for your actions to exemplify your words. There are so many times when we want to procrastinate rather than prepare. And when we have that roadblock in front of us between preparing or procrastinating, we know the two outcomes. We know one, we can prepare. I can get ready, I can get on my A game. Let's get it, let's lock in. Or you can procrastinate, avoid this feeling, avoid this locking in, avoid this discomfort. What I'm literally doing right now. And that's preventing you from preparing for your future self for success, as I'm telling myself that. Because sometimes you feel like you need a break. Sometimes you do need a break. But then other times you need to lock back in. And locking back in is probably one of the hardest things to do when you don't feel like locking in. To be fully 110% transparent. But at the end of the day, preparation does not care how you feel. Preparation does not exist simply when you feel like it's ready, that you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna prepare for this test right now. I'm gonna lock in and I'm gonna get ready. No. It comes when you least want it. Because when you know you have a test next week, next Monday, you gotta lock in the weekend before so you're not cramming the weekend before that Monday test. And you just have to be your best advocate. You have to be your person that does it. No one is gonna hold your hand through this process. No one's gonna hold your hand and be like, Emma, come on, honey, let's start studying. Come on, so you can get that letter grade, so you don't fail the test. No one's holding your hand. And sometimes it's like you're falling on your face, but you're falling forward. At least fail forward. At least fall upward. At least do something forward, making some progress. And it's kind of that dread, kind of that feeling, and the ache of not wanting to do it because it's not your passion, that you're burnout. But these hard moments are when you learn how to lock in even when you don't want to. When you figure out that it's a Saturday night and you want to be hanging out with your friends, but you know long term it's going to be way more beneficial to study and lock in. Because I don't know, I think sometimes you just have to know it. You don't need to have a reason why of locking in, that you just know that's what you have to do and that will help your future self. And I'm not saying, oh my gosh, you have to plan years in front of you. But you and I aren't blind. Hindsight is 20/20, but the present moment also does have a vision too. Maybe like, I don't know how vision works in the sense of like 2020, but like besides 2020, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what you need to do to prepare for the future. You're not ignorant. Like, you gotta lock it. But I don't know. Sometimes you just dread having to do that because you have to always keep like preparing for the future, preparing for something else, but then you forget in the moment what you're even doing when you're kind of just programmed to study, to get somewhere that you don't even know that you want, to then get somewhere societally, morally, whatever league you want to put. I mean, sometimes the hardest destination is the one that you don't even see, or the one that you know. And I think that's kind of the struggle, is like, you don't know where you need to go, but you know what you have to do to get somewhere. But we don't know where that somewhere is. None of us do. And I think sometimes when your heart's drawn to other things, that you can see it and that you want to do it, but then your current present doesn't reflect what you want, is even harder when to lock in. Like, that's not the right correct English. But when you see the thing that you want, but have to do something else, it's hard to do that something else that you know you have to do when you want to be doing that thing that you desire, have a passion for, and have that light for. That's what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, I hope that made sense, and that you know that, like, you have to prepare for something that the unknown is. Oh, that's what I was trying to get to. I never have like a thought. I always have like a thought, but then I don't know where it leads to. But then it ends up usually going about my day. Like rewinding about my day and then kind of going with it. But this is where I was trying to go with it before getting off task track. But I digress. It's hardest to lock in when you are kind of in the mindset of always going and going and going, when you don't have that little light of passion. But the thing is, with preparation, you kind of just have to do it. You kind of just have to trust. You kind of have to just trust the process. Because my dad would always tell me, poor performance, or preparation prevents poor performance. So preparation prevents poor performance. 4 words, an alliteration. An alliteration is just like a sentence or like a phrase with like the same letter or sounding letter. And it's so simple, but it's so true. Because I think when we feel like we've missed an opportunity, or when we feel like we weren't ready for it, it's when we weren't properly prepared. But sometimes we are the type of people to wing it. But then other times we just fall on our face when we try to wing it. And that's okay too. Both are learning opportunities. And I think when it comes down to it, you just have to trust it, and you just have to prepare. Kind of like going back to what I was saying of preparing for a path that you don't know, but yet knowing that's the path that you're going to be walking soon. You just don't know the destination. Period. End of sentence. But that's what I'm trying to get at, is that big picture, long story short of this video, is prepare for the future, because you can see the destination in front of you, or like, let me try. Prepare for the future, because you don't know the end destination, but you know that journey is going to be a long journey. That journey is going to be super duper long, but you would rather have prepared rather than a poor outcome. Food for thought.